and welcome to Kitchen Notes from Nancy. If you're new here, I'd like to welcome you to my channel, and I hope you decide to subscribe before you leave today. And if you're a returning visitor, I'd like to greet you with the customary, hey neighbor. In today's video, I'm sharing with you a quick and easy side dish. This dish is great for a weeknight meal, but it's also fitting for a Sunday dinner or even a Thanksgiving side. So, if you want to learn how to make a quick and easy but delicious broccoli and rice casserole, all you gotta do is stay tuned. But before we hop into it, go ahead and smash that like button and leave me a comment letting me know if you've ever tried this or is this a dish that you would like to try. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into this delicious recipe. Okay, so the ingredients for this casserole are pretty simple. Here I have about 2.5 cups of cooked white rice, and I cook this rice in chicken broth. It's really good if you cook it in chicken broth because it helps amp up the flavor. I have some sour cream. I'm going to use some cream of mushroom, but you can use cream of chicken if you don't like cream of mushroom. I just have this and I need to use it. I have some minced garlic, the delicacy of the South, some butter. Here I've chopped up half of a medium onion and then just 1 stalk of celery. If you want, you can leave the celery out, but I like what the celery adds, so I do use it. You're going to need some broccoli florets, of course. I'm going to use 2 types of cheese today. I'm going to use sharp cheddar as well as some mild cheddar cheese. And then for my seasonings, I'm going to use some salt, black pepper, a little cayenne pepper. If you need to make it kid friendly, feel free to omit the cayenne, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. So now that we've covered the ingredients, let's go over to the stove. So here we are at the stove, and I am going to drop 3 tablespoons of butter into the pan, and I'm going to let this melt really quickly. Right? And while I'm waiting on the butter to melt, I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 degrees. So go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now I'm going to take that diced onion and celery and put it in the pan, and we're just going to saute this until it's soft. Alright, so I've sauteed these for about 5 minutes. You just want to saute them until they're no longer crunchy. And I'm using about a medium heat. So now I'm going to take about a teaspoon of garlic. You can use more or less, you know, per your liking. I'm just going to add a teaspoon of garlic to this and saute it around for about 30 seconds to a minute. You don't want the garlic to burn, so just saute that around for about 30 seconds. Now I'm going to take my broccoli florets, and they were kind of thawed a little bit. I just sat them on the counter, so I didn't microwave them or anything. I just sat them on the counter, and I'm going to put these in. I have one trying to escape. I'm going to put these in and just go ahead and start steaming a little bit of the liquid out of them. We're going to go ahead and heat them up so they can thaw. And you want to be sure not to miss this step. You can nuke them in the microwave, or you can just do it like this, but you want to make sure that you go ahead and thaw them so that liquid can start to escape, because if you put it in the oven before, that's just my oven going off from being preheated, but if you put it in the oven while it's still frozen, it'll make your casserole a little bit watery. So just keep that in mind. And once this is done, we're gonna move on to the next step. Okay, so the broccoli has pretty much heated all the way through, and while it was heating up, I just broke some of the pieces down a little bit. They were a little too huge for my liking. I don't like really huge pieces of broccoli in my casserole, so I just went through and cut them down. And now we're gonna move over and start to assemble the casserole. So here I just have a big bowl, and I'm going to take the contents of the pan and I'm going to just dump those over in there. Now I'm going to take the 2 cups of rice, 2.5 cups or so. It's about 2 cups. You'll be fine with 2 cups. And I'm going to put that in there and then just stir it up a little bit. Now the chicken broth that I cooked the rice in was sodium free. So as of right now, there is no salt in this dish as of yet. So now what we're going to do, is open that can of cream of mushroom. And remember, you can use cream of chicken. I just had this cream of mushroom and I don't use it a lot, so I wanted to use it up. So I'm using cream of mushroom in mine, but you can use cream of chicken if you would like, or cream of celery, or cream of broccoli, whatever floats your boat. I can also show you how to make your own canned soup. Well, your own like homemade version if you don't like to use canned soups. I know some people don't. I can show you how to do that with a little bit of flour and milk and all that jazz. So now, okay, now we're here. Gonna open up the sour cream, and we're just gonna use about 4 ounces or so of sour cream just to help make it a little bit more creamier. All right, and now I'm gonna start seasoning it up a bit. So I'm gonna go in with some onion powder, and for measurement, I think about 1/4 of a teaspoon. Well, about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder would be good. And then probably about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And again, keep in mind, you can omit the cayenne pepper if you would like, but I'm gonna go in with a little bit. And then just a little bit of salt. Now, the mushroom soup has salt in it, and you're going to be adding a good amount of cheese. So just keep that in mind when you start adding salt. You don't want it to get too salty, you know, you don't want it to be too salty. So just keep that in mind. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of milk. I didn't put that in the initial ingredients, but I'm gonna add a little milk. Just be sure that you check the description bar down below for a list of all the ingredients. I just decided that I wanted a little bit more wet. So I'm gonna go in with cheddar cheese, and honestly 8 ounces would be good. I like a lot of cheese, so I'm gonna go in with 4 ounces of the sharp cheddar, and then I'm gonna go in with 4 ounces of the mild cheddar. And I'm going to reserve the rest of that mild cheddar for the top. But you want to make sure it's good and cheesy throughout. So, like I said, 8 ounces would be enough. But if you're a cheese lover like me, I'm going to really use more, like 12. All right, so this is what you have at this stage. I don't see enough pepper, so I'm gonna just add a little bit more of that. But everything else should be fine. We're going to stir it, and then we're gonna give it a quick taste, because you know everything in it is already kind of cooked, so it's not gonna hurt you to taste it, and that way you'll know what you need to add to it. I think everything is right on the money. So here I have a pan that I've sprayed. I just used olive oil spray. You can use butter if you would like. I think this is an 8x8. So this casserole is pretty much perfect for 8x8 or 9x9 pan. If you want it a little bit thinner, you could use a 9x13, that's fine. But it's pretty much perfect for this size pan. And I had a little bit jump over there. So just gonna smooth out the top. All right, like that. And then I am going to top it with a little bit more cheese. Again, use the cheese at your discretion. I like cheese. So I told you I was going to use about 12 ounces. And I'm just going to mix some of that sharp cheddar in. And I'm going to take my little cream of mushroom spoon here. Just spread it out a little bit. And now we're going to pop this in the oven on 350 for about 30 minutes or so, or until you see the cheese kind of bubbling. And that's how we're gonna know when it's done. So let's pop this in the oven. So this is the final product of the casserole. I'm sorry I lost the footage of me taking it out the oven and cutting into it, but I did want you to see the final product. This dish is awesome as a quick side dish for a weeknight meal or even on a Sunday meal. So as always, thank y'all so much. And until next time, bye neighbors.